What is up, everybody? NC.
JC and
We are back with Triple H as a bad booker. And this one is on the astronomical drop for the ratings. Now, there was a lot of contenders, a lot of really good choices that the fans came up with. They were saying, you guys need to do a Triple H as a bad booker on this motherfucker putting himself in the Hall of Fame. Valid point. You guys need to do a Triple H as a bad booker on the Royal Rumble. Valid point. But to me, and I'm sure to my brother, when you look at 3 million fans disappearing in a month, this is unprecedented. I have never seen any form of entertainment out there have such dramatic decline from the inception all the way to a month later. Less than a full 31 days, and we have this drop. I want to show you this drop here, so take a look. Started out at 5.9, and just this past week, 2.9. We still don't have the ratings for this past Monday, but I'm sure it's right around there, if not lower.
damn it,
Not good.
That's not good, and that's more than half of a drop. Because like 2.95 would have been like a half drop. No, this is more than a drop. This is more than a half drop. This is pathetic. So for anyone bragging about, Glenn Gilberti, look at the attendance. Okay, but look at the declining viewership. And again, if you want to say, oh, but Nielsen doesn't matter. Okay, well, this isn't Nielsen. This is from Netflix's watch hours. They're showing you what WWE is doing, and losing half their audience in a month is not good in any regard, in any metric.
No, it's not. And this is the thing, too, is that a lot of these fans right now, they're talking about what Glenn Gilberti was talking about the whole attendance issue. And right now we have Triple H spouting out about, Royal Rumble, largest skate in history, largest sponsorship revenue, largest merchandise revenue, largest, just all this hyperbole, all this BS. And if any of it is true, it's not because of Triple H, it's because of Nick Khan and him ramping up and taking the most out of this economy right now and taking the most out of what he can do in these arenas. If there's somebody who's succeeding for WWE, it's Nick Khan. It's not Triple H. He is easily replaceable, and I would hope that these ratings show you this. He is not the one bringing all these people to these big marquee events like Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. Even for Royal Rumble, I can give him credit. They hyped it up as the most star-studded Royal Rumble ever. Rock didn't show up. John Cena looked like shit. Punk looked like shit. Ice-Speed got crushed. That was about the best thing. Logan Paul got jobbed out. Roman Reigns, he did his thing. It wasn't the most star power filled. We've sat through the most star power filled. You want to go through those? Go back to the early 2000s. And then you'll find some really good Royal Rumbles. Not nowadays, no. They hyped this up to be the biggest ever. And a lot of people, they fell for the hype. Triple H is a great snake oil salesman. He's great at selling you this story that this could be the biggest event you'll ever watch. And then you tune in and you see pure shit. We're used to it by now. We're used to it. But, there was a little hopium there. You have the big event before WrestleMania. Here's hoping The Rock shows up. Wins the Rumble. Challenges Cody Rhodes. At least we get something. Some sort of resolution. Even Roman Reigns versus Rock. Something. And out of this, what did we get? We got what looks to be a CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns feud that nobody fucking wants to see. But this is the type of shit where they don't know what to do. Like, even with Triple H, that's why you see the ratings gradually dropping. He goes all out for these big events, and then he has no idea what to do in the weekly televised shows. He's mailing it in. He has to get to the point where he does number one contender matches and tournaments just to make it through the show formats because he has no idea what to do for storylines. Look at Alexa Bliss. Re-signed her, threw her right back in with the Wyatt Six. So you already know where that's going.
Right. And that's the thing, too, is like... It's just the booking from Triple H is the reason why the ratings are where they are. It's not exciting. It's not must-see TV, as evidenced by the fact that, 3 million casual fans just tuned out in less than a month. So,
right.
And again, as we said, this is not Nielsen. So if you want to, shit on Nielsen, Nielsen doesn't count. No. Okay, well, what about Netflix's own viewership numbers? Does that count? I think that would count. Now, and for the people who say, but WWE is having record-breaking attendances, okay, well, where does the majority of WWE's money come from? Their ticket sales or their media rights deals? I'll give you a hint. It's the media rights deals, okay? So look at SmackDown on Fox, right? SmackDown on Fox, big deal, Fox broadcast channel, the channel that the Super Bowl is going to be airing on this year. They were literally on that channel on a primetime spot and they ended up getting kicked off. Now, it could be for a number of reasons, but I do remember one of the executives saying that it just was not worth it financially to keep WWE there. Is it because they weren't bringing in the viewers? That could probably be why. It's because that wrestling is just not valuable to advertisers, to high-paying advertisers. Yeah, that's a part of it. So you can say, okay, look at the record-breaking attendances, but I can't also ignore the fact that when you lose over half of your audience in less than a month, that's not a good sign for Netflix. It's not. We literally just saw Fox say, I don't want anything to do with them. We're good. Fox Broadcast didn't want anything to do with them. Netflix, now it depends on how low the bar is for Netflix, but again, losing half of your audience in a month, not good in any regard. And so, the question is how low do they go from here?
Oh, they're going to drop a lot. I'm predicting the next one that we see is going to be 2.7 or 2.5. But you're going to see more of a dramatic drop. And what I feel it's going to get closer to is I feel it's going to get closer to its core American audience, which we've already told you through viewing Saturday Night Main Event, SmackDown, Raw, when it was previously on USA. What we always see, that median of around 1.5 to 1.6 fans. So I think that this big international number, it's a farce. It's sprinkled throughout the country, or sprinkled throughout the world, with most of the fan base being here in the U.S. that they neglect for these pissant international shows. So their strategy, whether it's domestically or international, is not working. It's not bringing in more fans. It's causing more people to tune out and go for different things, whether it be their weekly show on Netflix or even SmackDown, SME, NXT. There really is no avenue to turn for. We already talked about AEW. They're declining as well. You can talk about the gates and the attendance all you want, but when you have diminishing numbers in every single company, every single brand, with maybe the exception of NXT, but even then it's not breaking 1 million. When you have that going on, that's a major problem, and not just WWE, but the wrestling industry itself, that it's doing nothing to bring in new fans. And they're trying all they can with Rumble. They packed it with celebrities, so to speak. You had Logan Paul, you had Ice Speed, you had your celebrities at ringside and all this other bullshit like the Netflix premiere. That does not work to bring in people. Fans seeing celebrities on TV is not going to make them think, this is cool, I gotta watch this. If they watch it for themselves, they're going to be like, what? This is fucking boring. I'm turning the channel. There's no incentive. And when you have no incentive, you do not keep those fans. Those fans go elsewhere. They go to UFC. They go to football. They go to wherever they can go that is a pleasurable live fan experience and not this just marked garbage that we've become accustomed to that's been taken over by the psycho left. And that's another reason, too. You have to think about Netflix and the fact that look at how much they're raising the prices. Look at the fact that just this year they had a price bump. And they're really cutting down on network sharing, on, account sharing between your friends and family. You can't even do that like you used to anymore. So what's really the incentive for people to even tune in to Netflix? Are we going to start hearing this new excuse of, people are going to watch Netflix because of the prices? They're just, they're just pirating it. That's right. The cool. I know over 1 million people pirating it right now. Is that going to be the new cool thing?
Honestly, I think that's going to be the next excuses. It's just look for that in 3 months from now. Look for that. It's look at how expensive Netflix is. You think everybody can afford that easily? Come on, you asshole. Have a heart. I know where they're going, but I want to bring up something real quick. So for all the assholes out there who think that Netflix is not like Fox, they're going to be more lenient with WWE. Let me read you a quote here. This is from Sports Illustrated, okay? It says, in an interview with The Athletic, Netflix VP of Unscripted and Documentary Series, Brendan Reig, spoke about the going into business with WWE and that the measurement for rating success will be the same as it is for any other piece of content that runs on the platform. And he says, at its core, it's no different to any other entertainment program, Reig said. It's a case of saying, what does it cost? And then what's the return on investment in terms of how many people are watching it, and their level of engagement. Again, notice that they've lost half their audience in less than a month, okay? It's no different to dating show, Love is Blind, dramas, Black Doves, or Stranger Things. We look at it through the same lens. Okay, so if a TV show is bombing in viewership on Netflix, don't expect it to get renewed. And then goes on to say that they signed a 10-year partnership. Basically what it is, it's like a 5-year deal with an option to extend for 10 years. So I wish they would, clarify that in this article. But still, they're not safe. They are not safe from being cut from Netflix. They are not.
No, they never will be, and that's what they need to understand is that Netflix has a reputation for canceling shows on a whim. Now, sure, they put a lot of money into WWE, there's no doubt about that, but you have to also look at the fact, too, that if they see something continually underperforming and not bringing in any fans, what is the point of keeping the deal going? Especially if they have that out clause where they could just can the show. What is the point of keeping it going? I mean, look at with Fox. They chose not to renew. If Fox won't renew, what makes you think Netflix will renew? Well, they are the biggest paywall streaming service out there. What makes you think that they would be like, oh, it keeps on dropping in ratings, but we need that live content desperately? No, they can get it elsewhere. Trust me, there will be fucking roller derby on Netflix before wrestling gets renewed if the ratings keep on dropping.
Well, and that's the thing. Okay, so I want to read another article, right? Okay, so this is from. Let me go to an actual, reputable. Come on. Fuck it. This will work. Okay. You go to Cuckside's. Well, go to Fightful. There you go. Their reporting is better than Cuckside Seat. So, I mean, it's
not by much.
Not by much, but it's still garbage. But they're gonna have like actual quotes. So. Fox CEO comments on WWE SmackDown leaving the network. WWE SmackDown will head to... Okay, yeah, let's get to the... Okay. It says, how we analyze the WWE renewal. We look at all of our sports portfolios the same way and all the new rights the same way. On the basis of analysis, on both an advertising point of view, we weren't hitting advertising numbers due to the audience of WWE for our return on investment to be above the level we would accept. In other words, the audience was so low they weren't making money. It wasn't really worth it to the advertisers. Also, we didn't attribute enough retransmission revenue to WWE either. Okay, so they're taking a little bit of the blame. It made sense for us to move on from that. They've been a great partner for many years. Okay, so what they just said here. What they just said here, and this is the part that needs to be highlighted because it will be the same thing that will fuck them in the ass on Netflix, and that is, on the basis of analysis, on both an advertising point of view, we weren't hitting advertising numbers due to the audience of WWE for our return on investment. Like, right there. Right fucking there. Like, they're within 5 years, honestly, if they continue on this trend, don't expect Netflix to renew them. Netflix will probably look to get an even cheaper deal. Because $500 million a year is a lot of fucking money. Especially if we have an economic downturn, right? That's a lot of fucking money. I would not feel confident if I were WWE. We're talking about Fox cutting them. Fox. They are flushed with cash. They're not poor.
I'd love is if Netflix cut WWE and signed UFC Fight Night. Just like, you. Fuck your stupid wrestling. UFC actually gets viewers. I bet you anything people would watch UFC Live Fight Night every other Friday on Netflix. That would bring them in so many live viewers. Because that's the biggest thing right now is nobody wants to fuck around with ESPN Plus. It's like, oh yeah, you can watch the fight nights for free, but who the fuck wants to pay $80 for the pay-per-views? At least give them something free that's not on a fucking well, not completely free, but at least it's on a mainstream streaming service like Netflix that everybody has.
I mean, that's honestly a brilliant idea because like UFC actually has people who will tune in to watch it. Like I would tune in to watch it 100%. To see UFC Fight Night instead of fucking lame-ass, boring WWE. But yeah, it's like it's going to get to a point under Triple H where the viewership is going to get so low for Raw that you're going to have a Netflix exec call them and say, okay, hey, what's going on here? This is not meeting the numbers that we're expecting. Like what we just showed with Brandon Reek. He said that they have expectations for Raw. They have viewership expectations. They can't get 100,000 viewers and go, oh, well, that's totally fine. No, that's not the case. There's viewership expectations, and there's a very good, because they literally just fucking did it with Fox. They underperformed the viewership expectations for Fox, and they got kicked off. They didn't get re-signed. The same thing could very well happen with Netflix. Unless Triple H gets fired from his current position. He needs to. They need to fucking put in Brian Gewirtz, put him in there. Because I tell you, anytime Brian Gewirtz writes, it's way fucking better than what Triple H writes. Wrestlers should not be booking. Wrestlers don't know their fucking asshole from a hole in the wall when it comes to booking. They see things from a wrestlers and a wrestling perspective. Brian Gewirtz and like a Russo sees things from like a television viewer writer perspective. That's the perspective you need to get ratings.
Right, and it's proven that Triple H's perspective just does not work. And you've even seen Triple H lately on a lot of the live Raw shows and SmackDown. He's trying to implement more sports entertainment into his shows. But that's the thing, though, is like he doesn't know how to implement it correctly, and it's with the wrong players. When you have that type of cast and you're trying to do that type of drama, it's not going to work out because they were never cut out for that. They were cut out for the indies. They were cut out for NXT Black and Gold. They weren't cut out for the big time. But you're keeping up this masquerade that, oh, these NXT Black and Gold people, they're superstars. There's even a rumor, too, that backstage at the Royal Rumble that he was on the verge of tears because there was fucking crickets for DIY when they came out. Mm-hmm. And I buy it too, because, dude, you have to realize that the people who you want to shove down others' throats aren't going to be accepted. Even when we look at the cuts later for news, you're going to look at people that he could have done something with, but no, we need Candice LeRae, we need Johnny Gargano, we need Tommaso Ciampa. That's what we fucking need, and that's the problem.
And that's the problem, too, is that, you know, it's with all this. The other problem, too, is that Triple H has protection. He's got protection from TKO. They're sucking his dick left and right. You got the fans sucking his dick left and right. The only thing, the one thing that they cannot protect him from is the drop in viewership and the lack of crowd response. He cannot be protected from that. Sorry, Nose Man, you can't be fucking protected from that. You know, we to beat a fucking dead horse, we literally just saw SmackDown get kicked off Fox due to low viewership. The same thing could happen to Netflix in 5 years from now.
Oh,
don't think that you're... Yeah.
He's going to push the narrative even more that ratings don't matter.
Right.
Once it starts dropping below 2 million on Netflix, you're going to really start to see him say, look at all these gate numbers that we've been getting. We're breaking records left and right. We broke records for Money in the Bank, broke records for Survivor Series, broke records for Rumble. We're going to break records again for WrestleMania with 5 nights of revenue. He's saying this to TKO, and they're just looking at the dollar signs. I think they should really be looking at Nick Khan and being like, thank you for carrying this dumb fuck as far as you did, but we need a new book dummy. He's just not getting it done.
He's not. Like, they're gonna get to a point where it's like, you're gonna get Netflix complaining, because I would have to imagine if they're saying that WWE did not meet the viewership expectations, I'm pretty sure that there were phone calls between Netflix or Fox executives and WWE management about, hey, what's going on with this viewership? We need higher viewership, and they're like, yeah, we'll do it. Just give us time, we'll do it, and they didn't do it, so they didn't get renewed. Yeah, I just think that, you know, WWE is not in a safe space right now where they could be resting on their laurels. They shouldn't be, you know. And the attendance thing, okay, great for the attendance. Now, we got to look at the viewership, okay? I mean, because again, if you want to ignore the Nielsen ratings, that's fine. But am I supposed to ignore, like, because the big argument, I know it sounds a little bit scattershot, but the big argument here is that ratings don't matter, Nielsen does not matter. Okay, well, what about Netflix's viewership? Netflix viewership, right? So, where's the cord-cutting excuse now? There is none.
Oh, I mean, here we have live proof. Like you said before, shows right up on Netflix. We can see in live time where they're ranking every single day of every single week. And we see a gradual decline every single week of where they are and how long they stay on the top 10. And that's a very telling sign when you have a brand new established company like the WWE, which has been around in many different incarnations for over 50 years. It's a very long-standing, powerful company. And it has all these corporational ties, international brand. And it has such a dramatic drop in less than a month, to the point that nobody fucking cares about it. They try to get celebrities to pump it up and say, oh, wow, Raw's exciting again, please watch. They're trying, they're doing everything they can. I mean, he's posing with Travis Scott, thinking that people are going to give a shit. They don't, see, that's the thing, is they casuals look at a guy like Travis Scott, while they may like his incredibly shitty music, they don't give a fuck what he's into. He can be into some fucking obscure anime. They're not going to go and watch it and be fans of it. Or if they do check it out, they'll be like, wow, this sucks, and turn it off. They need to stop thinking that celebrities and them showing up at events is going to lead to their fan base coming over. Look at Logan Paul. His fan base didn't fucking come over because they don't fucking care about wrestling. They know that very much this is Logan's passion project. Even with like a lot of these other YouTubers like Moist Critical, they know that wrestling is his side project. It's not who he is, and that's not what they're there for. They're there for the entertainer. They're not there for his other side projects.
Well, it's like you can get the celebrities, you can get all these like fly-by-night rappers who are popular now but will be forgotten in like 2 weeks. You can get all of them on your show. It matters what you do with them. And just having them show up for like a little spot and then be gone the next week, like that's not going to retain an audience, number one. And number two, the problem is not the celebrities. It's the show itself. That's the problem.
Well, they don't know how to utilize the celebrities.
No.
Like, if you bring in a celebrity and actually utilize them correctly, like, the last time it was kind of utilized correctly that I can remember is when KO powerbomb Machine Gun Kelly off of what was it? Off of the ramp through a table. That was kind of cool. You know, I would like to see more wrestlers take bumps like that. Ice Speed, getting the shit speared out of him by Braun. That was cool. I would like to see more of that. But you don't see too many celebrities willing to take bumps, willing to do storylines. They just want to get paid and get the fuck out of there. And I can't blame them, especially with how bad WWE is. But at the same time, that creates this point where, okay, this show is relying on crutch when it comes to celebrities. Filling up time with just pointless mega matches that don't matter. No consequence, just here's 30 minutes for the fans. We know you love it. Sit through a commercial break or two while you're at it. And that's another thing, too, is the commercial breaks have gotten intense ever since they got to Netflix. I could see that, honestly, on top of the big price they're paying. A lot of the reason why people are tuning out and being like, dude, I'll just check out clips on YouTube and Twitter. I don't gotta sit through this shit.
Well, I mean, like, because Netflix is probably looking at it like, okay, they paid $500 million a year to have WWE's library internationally on Netflix. So they're thinking, okay, well, you know, if we put ads on these videos, buffering too, absolutely.
Especially last episode, it was so bad.
Yeah, good God. But yeah, if we put ads on these episodes, then you know it's going to be worth it because people are they're gonna click on all this huge library and they're gonna sit through ads and we're gonna get paid from that. So like, there's a good chance that WWE could do fine in that regard with the library up there. But I honestly, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's going to be worth it for Netflix in the long run. Maybe it will be. Who knows? Like, maybe, you know, they move on from Peacock, move all their stuff onto Netflix in the future. That could very well be the case. And all of this may not matter. But what Brendan Reig said, Netflix executive said, is that viewership does matter. It still fucking matters. It does. Because they are paying an amount of money for that, and they're expecting a certain viewership. And like what my brother said, you know, it's like, with UFC Fight Night, you could probably get more viewers. You're going to have more casual fans, and it would be more valuable to advertisers. Like, if you want to do that, do that. Like, I don't know why you really have to break this $500 million deal down, but like, is it really worth paying $200 million a year for this shit? Fuck no.
No, well, that's the thing. They're not going to get a return on this investment. And I think that's even why Netflix is very apprehensive about taking any more of that prize that Triple H is trying to sell in the WWE library and everything that's connected. I think they're kind of like, is it worth the money pitch? Should we just let that buggy-ass app Peacock have all that shit and us just maybe just back away while we can? It's a possibility, especially after seeing how much fans they've lost. Because you also got to look at it like this. You lose 3 million fans. That's 3 million less fans watching those ads and putting money towards those possible advertisers.
That's right. Well, it makes the brand less valuable to advertisers. The less, like, the reason why the Super Bowl gets, like, the reason why you have to pay like $1 million for a 30-second ad spot on the Super Bowl is because it's airing to like a third of the country. That's why. It's airing to over roughly 100 million people. It's to a lot of fucking people. Like, the amount of people that are watching it makes it so fucking valuable. If like 1 million people were watching the Super Bowl, I promise you, an ad spot would not cost $1 million for 30 seconds. Like, that would not be the case in any way, shape, or form. So it is to say, you know, as we just showed from, or as we just demonstrated from the Fox executive saying it, you know, it didn't meet our numbers. It did not meet the numbers that we were looking for to make it a return on investment. The same thing could happen with Netflix. In fact, it probably will happen with Netflix. Losing half of your audience in a month, not a good fucking sign. Unless they bottom out here and it's just all up from here, which I highly fucking doubt.
Even if that's the case, I don't see why Netflix would be willing to coast on something that's going to continually lose viewership. I predict that it will continually lose viewership all the way up to WrestleMania. You're going to see a continual drop, in my opinion, every single week that it's on Netflix because there's no hype. Especially when you take The Rock out of it, you take John Cena out of the title picture. Roman Reigns isn't in the title picture now either. you really shot yourself in the foot going for unpredictability with the Rumble winners. That was a huge mistake. And as much as we hate Punk, at the very least you can do something with Punk in one of those main event spots. You can't do anything with that, and that's why it's going to kill a lot of the viewership. Don't expect people to tune in to see Penta versus Pete Dunne number 13. Nobody fucking cares. It's just going to be the same core audience that they already have with SmackDown Saturday Night Main Event tuning back in to watch this shit. Same fucking crowd. It's not going to grow.
You know, as two YouTubers, right? You know, all these veteran wrestlers think they know everything about wrestling, but you hear their booking ideas and it's like, holy shit, wow, that's bad. Like Bully Ray, really fucking bad booking ideas.
Yes.
Oh God. Especially if you hear what he said about Charlotte and like how, like let's put all the titles on her. You fucking no. Like, how much sense would it have made to honestly, like, I know we shit on the guy, but have CM Punk win the men's Rumble, have Trish Stratus win the women's Rumble? How much more of a marquee, how much more attention would there be on the build of WrestleMania this year if those two had won?
Yeah, I mean, even if Trish is only wanting to do it one time, you know,
sure,
throw a couple 100,000 her way. Say, you know what, stay till Mania. Let's work a program. You put over Tiffany.
Right.
Yeah. I would be cool with that. I'm sure she would do it. I'm sure she would be totally down to put over Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania. It would earn her another WrestleMania main event, and I'm sure she wants that. Not a main event, but another world title match at WrestleMania. So
it's a bigger Trish Stratus is much more of a bigger name than Charlotte. Let's be honest. More wrestling fans know who Trish Stratus is than know who Charlotte is. And by the way, most wrestling fans care more about Trish Stratus than do about Charlotte. No one fucking cares about Charlotte. Literally, other than Bully Ray, who jerks off to Charlotte, probably wants to fuck him. You know, other than him, no one fucking cares. And you saw by the lack of crowd reaction, she was literally crying like, "Guys, please like me." I'm like, how fucking pathetic can you fucking be, Charlotte? But yeah, like. That Trish Stratus versus Tiffany would have been so much more of a marquee match. The casual viewers that tuned out, I think some of them would have tuned back in. I think that would have happened. CM Punk main eventing Mania, casuals would have tuned back in, but no. Triple H's booking fucked everything up. Charlotte had to debut at 27 and then win the fucking thing. That, of course it's going to piss fans off. Like, how can this great booker not understand that would piss the fucking fans off? That's his number one job, is to know what the fans want and what they don't want.
Well, but even with Charlotte, he should have been able to pull an audible and seen that the crowd was not behind her, that they were booing her, and been like, you know what, when we have you come out on Raw, let's go ahead and have you come out as a heel. And instead of playing this sympathetic babyface that nobody fucking wanted to see, here she is, a 16-time world champion, being basically silver spoon-fed another title shot heading into Mania on her fucking comeback. Not even a fucking burnout feud. Not even a burn off the rust feud. She immediately got back in the title seat, and we all know how this is going to go. We already know she's going to beat Tiffany at Mania. You might as well bet on DraftKings. You can make some good money there on that one. That's a very easy, predictable bet. Tiffany will not beat her. We already know that. And it's just looking at something like this, how could he expect for the fans to be behind her? Like, especially, she looked like shit during that Rumble. We'll show you a video on the news. How bad this woman was. Her timing was off. She's always had bad timing, always been rusty, but she was super shitty for this event, and she shouldn't have won. If you want to go by fan response, you give it to Alexa Bliss. That would have been the audible to fucking pick right there.
Right. Well, and the thing, too, is, like, people are going to say, oh, well, Charlotte was out with an injury, and she's still, getting back in ring shape, you fucking asshole. And I would respond with,
no, why is she getting the push?
Trish Stratus looked better.
Well, why is she getting the fucking push?
Exactly. Why is she getting the push?
She shouldn't be getting a push like that if she's dirt fucking rusty. What they should have done is they should have gotten the fucking curse back, put her in a match against Charlotte at WrestleMania, and they both injure each other, and they're both out for 2 years. That way the curse, it not only affects herself, but also another shitty wrestler. So boom. You kill two birds with one stone there.
And you know what I love? Like, the fucking idiot marks like Bully Ray are going to be like, oh, well, it's Charlotte Flair is like the Chiefs. People hate her because, she wins all the time. Like, I'm literally wearing a Charlotte jersey right now, my number 10, Herbert. No. I will say this right now as a Chargers fan, wearing a fucking Chargers jersey right now. Literally, I'm not kidding. At least the Chiefs are talented, and that pains me into my fucking core to say. At least the Chiefs are talented. Charlotte Flair is not talented. She's not. She is the most overrated, botchy, ugly, boring, horrible promo cutting wrestler that I've ever seen, male or female.
It's almost like the four horseface women are in a contest to see who's the fucking worst. Because every year they try to one-up each other. If it's not Bayley being butt ugly and cutting shit promos, it's Charlotte being just butt uglier than usual and being an even worse wrestler. Becky Lynch, you already know, is going to be shoved down your throat when she comes back. And then, of course, we got Greyhound face over in AEW stinking up the joint. It's like, it's always a competition. Who could be the worst? I think Charlotte might be edging them all, though, right now.
No, I mean, at least Becky's decent on the microphone. At least Bayley, she doesn't botch horribly. She does, but she's not god-awful like Charlotte is. Sasha Banks is decent in the ring, but not a good promo. Dude, what is Charlotte good at? She's not good in the ring. Her moves look like shit. There's no intensity. There's no like oomph to her moves, like you see with like a Tessa Blanchard or Tiffany Stratton or like even like a Trish Stratus. There's more intensity to it, more of a connection. With Charlotte, everything is they call it graceful, but it's fucking weak sauce. It's fucking it just looks lame. It's like you can see like she goes to kick someone and like and it barely connects. Like, I'm sorry, Charlotte is not good athletically. There are women in the ring that are in WWE that are way more athletic than Charlotte. There are women in the ring that are better at selling than Charlotte. There are women in WWE that are better on the mic than Charlotte. What is she so good at that everyone is jerking off over? You know what I think it is? I think and it's from a lot of these veteran wrestlers, Triple H, Bully Ray, Mark Henry, all of them. You know what I think it is? Respect for Ric Flair. Is that they're putting over his ugly, botchy, boring, talentless, fucking ugly hag of a daughter because Ric Flair is a legend and I don't want to insult Ric Flair and get on his bad side. Yeah, I'm going to say it right now. Fuck you, Ric Flair, for giving us that fucking boring, ugly hag that's being shoved down our fucking throats. Fuck you for producing that. Fuck you.
You're welcome. Woo!
Yeah. Fucking. Like. Man, it's a shame. It really is a fucking shame that Charlotte Flair is what we have being shoved down our throats. No one talented.
Where's David? I want David Flair to come back from whatever convalescent home he's in and come back to wrestling and just, damn it, if you got to put on a wig, do it. Just do whatever it takes to outclass this fucking just talentless bum that we got parading around. Like, Dolph, you're better in TNA. We don't need you back in WWE, motherfucker. No. Go back in TNA and squeal all you want.
Yeah, squeal like a pig in TNA. But honestly, like, if they were going to book this, like, if they're going to bring back Charlotte and you're going to have her win and you want the fans to get on her good side, okay. We know that Charlotte Flair was recovering from an injury, that she was going through a lot of pain, a lot of trials and tribulation. She just divorced Andrade. Tell that every fucking week on the show. Little video package of her like recovering, going through the pain, and you see week after week she's getting stronger. She's going to be back to go. Like, if you had done that, that would have given the fans a reason to fucking cheer for her because she went through all the pain and trials and tribulation, and I saw it every week, and now she's back.
I got a perfect time for that. They can label her the $6 million woman. You know, they had to rebuild her. You know, there it is. Give her Ted DiBiase as a manager. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, because it's the problem is that they didn't tell a story with her coming back. They didn't give us a reason to give a fuck about her coming back. She just like, there it is, she's back in the Rumble. Oh, why aren't they jerking up to it? Fucking assholes. They're so ungrateful for the amazing bangers that I've been putting down. Fuck you, Nose Man. No, what you do is you tell a story. You tell a fucking story. You devote at least a minute or two every week to showing Charlotte Flair in recovery. She's at the doctor's office in recovery. They're giving her the diagnosis. She's in the gym. She's working her leg or whatever the fuck she injured, and she's going through the motion to come back. That's what you fucking do. You tell a story. You devote at least a little bit of time each week to tell a story, but you didn't even fucking do that. You didn't even fucking do that. And they're going to blame the fans for not giving a fuck. Nah, motherfucker, do your job. Book a good show, but he can't. This is Triple H. He's got the creativity of a fucking brick. So what are we going to do? We're fucked. We're stuck with Triple H and his horrible fucking booking. But we're to blame. According to Bully Ray, we're the problem. We're the assholes. We're the piece of shit. No, we have standards, motherfucker. We have standards. You don't. We don't have to suck Ric Flair's dick, okay?
Yeah, we don't have to do that shit. We won't. And that's the thing too, is like even with Jey Uso, like Jey wasn't the worst choice, but at the same time, when you had such selections, even at the very end, like CM Punk, John Cena, and Logan Paul, and you go with fucking Jey Uso, who lost the title shot 1 week earlier, and he's getting another fucking title shot. What is he, Chad Gable? At this point, it's like, you know what? No. When you have Logan Paul, CM Punk, and John Cena, you pick one of the three. Either one would bring in fucking fans and would be a marquee title for one of the nights, without question. It's as simple as that. But even that, even the dude Rumble, he fucked that up too.
Yeah, he fucked it up because like he just had to have Charlotte be in there. He had to give Jey, like, this is about giving Jey Uso his his due at this point. That's what this is with Triple H and with veteran wrestlers, is that they respect those that have paid their dues. Even though it may not be what's best for the product, even though it may not be what's best to to book, they'll do it because they're a veteran wrestler and they have an ego. And how dare you tell them what to do, you fucking peon? They've been in business for 30 years. Have you? No. So this is the problem I have with these veteran it's always with the veteran wrestlers too. They get the most butthurt, the most offended. How dare you have an opinion? Imagine a Giants fan, like, whining about the decisions that Joe Shane is making, their GM, right? And saying, he really fucked up there choosing Daniel Jones over Josh Allen. And then, fucking John Gruden comes out and says, like, who the fuck do you think you are, you fucking peon, you fan? You think you know more than Joe Shane does about GMing? Sit down, shut the fuck up, and mind your own fucking business. Like, imagine if they fucking said that. I just imagine if the NFL acted that way. Like, it would be, they would get ridiculed. They would get laughed out of the fucking, off Twitter. As they should be. But yet, these veteran wrestlers, they're protected. No one fucking, shouts them down or laughs them off Twitter. Like, the wrestling business is fucked, man. It is absolutely fucked.
It is, man. So, going to Super Chats here. MM was saying they've released Isla Dawn and Sonya Deville. Yeah, we're going to definitely talk about that on the news. Sure. Expect more cuts to come. This is not even done. Yeah. Cool Kamasi was saying, TWRP Universe, stand up. Much appreciated.
Right. Thank you.
So, Emperor Richard the Lionheart was saying, what still has me myth is Triple H has been around The Rock, Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Kevin Nash, JR, Russo, Hogan, Ric Flair, and Vince. How in all sanity does he not know better? Is he that much of an egotist, Mark? Yes, he is, Emperor. Yeah. Because he realizes that he has the majority of the internet. Yeah, there's some more detractors showing up, especially after the cuts. But he realizes now more than ever that he has the internet on his side. That they love his booking decisions, that he can really do no wrong, that they refuse to dig up and make viral all the racist shit and all the fucked up decisions he did in the past. They refuse to do that. He's protected in that aspect, and he knows that, and he's very sure of himself. That's why he pushes his shitty NXT Black and Gold darling wrestlers, because it's his way or the highway. And like he's showing a lot of these wrestlers getting cut. It's basically like, you know what? You were never one of my favorites, and we could tell by the way that they were booked. I mean, we'll go through all of them, trust me. But it's not so much about common sense. And even then, he's not going to let any of these wrestlers like Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash, any of his friends for that matter, tell him how to book his own show. It's very much a Tony Khan type situation of, these are my action figures and you can't play with them. So because it's very much that type of situation, Triple H is always going to be in it for himself. He's always going to jerk off to his own creations that he made in NXT Black and Gold. Therefore, they are superstars. He's always going to love that shit. And he will always stick up for people that suck. And that's the way it is. That's just unfortunately how it is with Triple H. And the sooner he gets unseated, the better. Hopefully, the end of this year is what I'm looking at. But we'll just have to keep patient when it comes down to it. But yeah, he's a big mark and a big fucking egotist. No doubt about it. So, Metalhead was saying, Noseman also uses titles as a crutch for his bad booking because he can't book a non-title feud. They're one of the many props that he uses along with tournaments and number one contenders matches because he doesn't know how to build authentic heat-fueled storylines. I mean, there's so much stuff right there on the roster to do with who you're working with. And we just see inklings every week of what could be. If he really just dove in and didn't want to be a full-on match mark that pretended that his shit was UFC. It's not, dude. You could do all the press conferences. You could do all the from gorilla to the ring camera shots. You could do all the backstage interviews. You aren't UFC. You never will be. UFC fans laugh at WWE and think it's fucking garbage.
Right.
There's no crossover there. It's the only thing that's crossing over is the fact that they're both owned by TKO, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's the thing is like, it's Triple H does not understand that like the titles are props in and of themselves. What makes them matter is the champion that's holding them and how that champion has been built up. Like case in point, like Cody Rhodes should be as over as Roman Reigns if it was the title. Like if the title had any inherent value, it does not. Roman Reigns mattered so much because he had that long-ass title reign and nobody could fucking beat him, and you were just waiting for that one person to finally fucking beat him. It was the story that mattered, not the title. The title is a prop. It's inherently meaningless.
Always has been, but he hasn't figured that out because he's a dumb mark. So Ninja Robin was saying this is what happens when you ignore the 18 to 34 audience.
Right.
It's almost like Triple H is booking for old mark wrestlers. That's what it feels. It feels like he's booking for 50 to 60-year-old men that still watch wrestling. It feels like everybody in wrestling, honestly, is booking for Jim Cornette. I hate to say it. It feels like Tony, and we'll show you. We'll show you later on the news. Even Tony Khan is a Jim Cornette fan. All these fucking promoters are Jim Cornette marks. If you love Cornette so much, Triple H, put him in the Hall of Fame. Show him some respect. Do something.
Right. Honestly, like I'm surprised they haven't done it already. Putting Cornette in.
They may have. They put over like almost 300 people in the Hall of Fame, and it's so hard to keep in mind who's been inducted and who hasn't, but it doesn't seem like he has. If he has been inducted, my bad, but like I said, almost 300 people, and I checked out the WWE Hall of Fame that's on their website. It's not even a Hall of Fame. It's a logo with a graphic, and then it shows like a little highlight video from last year, and there's nothing that shows you who got inducted. You have to go to a shitty Wikipedia page to find out who's been inducted through the years.
I think that with Triple H in particular, I think he's trying to book for the fans, but there are times where his markdom overrides his logic, and he's like, all right, I'm going to put Charlotte in, I don't give a fuck what the fans want. But like the other like 80% of the time he tries to book for like the fucking JD from New York audience, the Jim Cornette audience, he tries to book for them. And like the only reason why they're having the attendances that they do is because there's no competition. There's no, like, what's the competition? AEW is a fucking zombie right now. TNA is a fucking cockroach. What's the competition? Like, if you have dollars in your hand and you're going to buy tickets to a wrestling show, more than likely, which show are you going to? WWE. It's
Easily.
the biggest spectacle.
Yeah, you're going to go where the money is, no doubt.
Of course.
Emperor Richard Lionheart said, you think WWE would have learned from the election? Celebrities don't help something that is very shitty. Oh, yeah, that's how it is. And they should have learned, honestly, you're absolutely right, with Kamala Harris. That they tried, they put every celebrity they could behind her. Eminem couldn't get the job done. Beyonce couldn't get the job done. Taylor Swift could not get the job done. It wasn't enough to convince the country that Kamala Harris was this force, because you had this immovable object in Donald Trump that was bound for presidency. Nobody was going to stop him. It's literally been predetermined by psychics for years that Donald Trump would get the second ascension. You know, isn't it funny that he's calling himself the second coming? You know, it's very strange. A lot of shit that he says. A lot of chosen one. Very strange shit he says. Cool Kamasi was saying Triple H had balls, he would have had Andrew Tate on Raw. Well, that's if Tate would be one of those things is he would want some money. So Tate would want a couple things. He would want money, and he would want a live mic to say whatever he wants. The problem that comes with Andrew Tate having a live mic is he buries the fuck out of your weak, shitty roster. And a lot of them, they can't take that. There isn't enough safe spaces back in that locker room to maintain all those fucking pussies if Andrew Tate goes on a fucking roster roast. He'll put them all in fucking mental hospitals. What are you going to do at that point? You got no roster. You got to go to fucking NXT, I guess.
I know, dude. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Andrew Tate would own that fucking roster. Like, that's the problem. It's like all of them are just so fucking bad on the mic and so poorly trained. Look at fucking JD McDonagh, or whatever the fuck his name is. Look at him. Yeah. Like, what professional would do that spot?
And that's the thing too, is you don't do spots like that on Raw. If you're gonna go all out, do it on a pay-per-view. I can understand if he wants to beat himself up, do it on a pay-per-view, not in some random fucking tag team match that nobody's gonna give a shit about. Think about this. This motherfucker, he broke ribs, punctured his lung, and got a concussion on a show that's nobody is watching. Think about that. Think about that.
Like, it's why? Like, he probably thought, oh, I could land it, no problem. I'm like, dude, why even take the risk? Why even take the risk? Like, there's a good chance you're going to get fucked up. And this is what we talk about. For like veteran wrestlers who think that, oh well, how dare those asshole fans, give their opinion on what wrestlers should do in the ring. My reaction is that you have wrestlers in the ring right now that are taking dangerous spots that even fans could look at and go, yeah, he probably shouldn't be doing that.
Well, yeah, and it's just, it was something that could have been easily avoidable, but nah, he has to fucking impress all the marks backstage. So it's all about. It's all how I could do this. Can you do that? Top this. That bullshit fucking mentality. I hate it.
Question, and why isn't Triple H doing anything about it?
He's their buddy. He's got to be their buddy. Right. Oh, you did a great job. You kicked ass out there. Oh, you're replaceable. Right. That's what it is.
Exactly.
Metalhead Wrestling said Stephanie Vecchera got a bigger pop than DIY. Yeah. Well, yeah, because that's the thing is, even if people don't know who the fuck like people like Stephanie Vecchera or Julia are, at the very least they're attractive women. You can't take that away from them. They have a long way to go when it comes to working on the microphone and gaining a character, but when it comes to attractive women, I can't fault Shawn Michaels for signing those two to NXT or Triple H for that matter. They are two of the better signings. We need more people like that are aesthetically pleasing. That's what just straight dudes want to cheer for hot girls. It's as simple as that. It's not hard.
No, it's as simple as that, and we've been saying it for years. Hot chicks bring in viewership. They do. Look at NXT. It's the only wrestling product right now that's actually going up in viewership.
Seriously?
Temporarily. They had a little bit of a downtrend this week, but still, they're still in a good range.
Yeah, exactly. High Pop was saying, I'd rather watch Blake Lively versus Taylor Swift. At least there's some heat there, man. And that's the whole thing, too, is we want more than anything in wrestling, we want real heat back again. We want these wrestlers kind of hating each other almost. We want if you go out on the mic and you start feuding with somebody, we want it to be believable. We don't want this, I respect you, you're great, but I have to defeat you bullshit. We want to see something where they start taking digs at each other. We'll show you in the news with Drew McIntyre and LA Knight. We want to see more shit like that, man. So, Yutiko was saying, 4 horse-faced women have a conversation with Tessa Blanchard. I think, if anything, if they were to have a conversation with Tessa Blanchard, they would probably just screech at her the whole time and call her a bigot, a homophobe, a racist, a white trash MAGA supporter piece of shit. Yes. They would try to shame her out of the building. And it's why I love Tessa being over in TNA. While she's still technically kind of connected to WWE, she's still on her own island. They have to come over to that island to fuck with her. So exactly. I kind of like that. So
exactly, and that's the thing is Tessa doesn't need to work with them. And as we said before, I think Tessa's better than all of them. Tessa's probably, if not the best, the second best women's wrestler in the entire fucking business. So it's. Oh. Seriously underrated for how good she is, but yeah, if a conversation between them went down, it would probably be them saying, I've heard a lot of bad things about you, I don't want to work with you, fuck you, what, because you're Tully Blanchard's daughter, you think you're hot shit. It'd be something like that. Know your fucking place, bitch. We're WWE stars, you're in TNA.
Yeah, and they were probably rubbing the fact that didn't she get released from NXT at one time because she got in a fight with Ricochet at the Performance Center? Okay, yep. So it's they would probably rub that in her face. Oh, you're a fucking WWE washout, bitch. You ain't ever getting back to the big time. We've been there, done that. It'd be some bullshit like that, dude. Truth was saying, even my daughter, who was a Charlotte fan, hates her. See, your daughter is smartening up to wrestling. I love that when kids get older and they start seeing that these wrestlers who they grew up liking, they start seeing their faults. And a lot of kids, they had that with CM Punk, grew up as CM Punk fans. When they grew up, they started to realize all the faults that this guy has. Same thing with Charlotte. This is a woman who I could tell, before she even got on the mic and said anything on Raw, I could tell that she had some deep mental issues. Anybody who cuts their face up that fucking much, they are deeply traumatized. Something is going on. It was probably the divorce going on. Who knows what else on the side was going on in her personal life. She was getting over an injury, so that's traumatic on its own. She got her titties taken out, so that has to be very traumatic. She has an inability to grow an ass. That has to be incredibly traumatic for a woman. Oh, yeah. It's and really the only thing that she can really grow is just her back. She just keeps on growing that sinewy, mannish back of hers, and that's the only growth we gotten out of Charlotte is this ugly fucking gross man back that nobody wants to see. But here you go, you like it? All you muscle mommy freaks, you fucking like Charlotte's new back? Do you like her new cut up fucking Starlight looking face too?
Oh God. Oh. But no, it's just with Charlotte. Like I would just wish these veterans could be honest and just not be worried about what Ric Flair thinks and go, yeah, bro, I do think that Charlotte fucking sucks. She's pretty fucking boring. I got like 3 fucking bitches here in AAA that are way better. I wish Conan would come out and fucking just admit the honesty. Admit that they're just lying to their fucking audience and just say, yeah, Charlotte's not that good. She's massively overrated because she's the daughter of Ric Flair and Ric Flair's a legend and we don't want to get on his bad side. Like, I just wish they could just come out and fucking say it.
Well, there's a conversation after, I want to say probably like a month or 2 ago. And after the show ended, Conan went up to Glenn and he went, Bro, we got the gate in the Hall of Fame. I'll do anything for that Legends contract, bro. I'll do fucking anything, bro.
Okay, so I have an idea. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna suck Triple H's cock as much as we possibly can, and then hopefully in about a year from now we'll be in the Hall of Fame.
Bro, it's a slow burn feud, bro. That's what the bookers call it, bro. I think you're a booking genius. I fucking love it. Let's go for it. And that's exactly what you're seeing, is you're just seeing I'm going to suck your cock, Triple H. Please like me. Please put me in the Hall of Fame. Please give me a Legends deal. That's why I can't tell the truth. If I have to pick a bad guy, I'm picking Tony. I'm pro Triple H. I got to pick a side, right? That's what it is.
I hate that too. Like, you have to be either like it's a binary. It's like you're either pro Triple H or you're pro Tony Khan. You're either pro Tony Khan and you hate Triple H, or you're pro Triple H and you hate Tony Khan. It's like with JD, that fucking shit that he does. It's like you have to be tribal. You have to like go where the fucking fans are going. You can't have your own opinion. You can't just plant your flag on the ground and say this is what I believe. It's wherever the fan bases are going. He's and for him, like, he makes his living on YouTube, so I get it. I get why you'd grift, but just be fucking honest for once. Come on, man.
They can't. There's too much money in the grifting, I guess.
Yeah.
So Javon Film said, I like the fact that people are calling out Noseman, but I wish it was louder. And
it's getting louder.
This is how all movements start. Like, you even saw with Cody Rhodes. You saw the applause start dying down. You saw the fan response online start dying down. And with Triple H, what you're seeing is more people calling him a racist, more people calling him triple Nazi, more people saying fire Noseman even. You're seeing all sorts of crazy shit. Like, I saw some fan account the other day put one of the Triple H pictures that we made in their fucking Hate Triple H video. I'm like,
nice.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Nice.
So that's what tells me too, when the mainstream IWC are picking up on this Triple H hate, that means that it's only a matter of time. Give him another year and you'll see a lot of people, not just us, using this hashtag. A lot of fucking people are going to be using that hashtag in the near future because it's going to be apparent to everybody, especially once Netflix gets released. Once Netflix releases WWE. Once they release Raw, that's when you're going to really see the turning point. That's when you see a lot of people be like, you know what? I don't think this wrestling shit's for me. I'm out.
Well, so I think that for a lot of people, like, they're now, like, and you're seeing more and more Triple H, like, more and more people shitting on Triple H's booking, more and more every year, and you're seeing it. I think what delayed it a little bit was, like, Raw going to Netflix and, like, the hope of, like, oh, that could be epic, amazing, awesome. I can't wait for that. And then they see it. And it's like, oh, well, that's the Raw that we saw on USA. Like, it's literally no different, except it's got more fucking ads in it. And there's more obnoxious lighting. Like, this is this is what we've been pointing out for months. We've been saying that, like, when it goes to, it's going to be the same fucking product that you're getting on USA. It's going to be the same product you're going to get on Netflix. And it's going to frustrate and piss off a lot of fans, and that's what you're now seeing, Liz. Now the honeymoon period is beginning to end, and you're seeing that the fans are now beginning slowly but surely to turn on Triple H. The booking decisions, it's going to depend how WrestleMania goes, but you're seeing more and more. I'm seeing it on social media. I'm seeing it on YouTube. Like, there's less and less Triple H defending going on. Yeah, you're going to have the JD sucking his cock because that's where he thinks the fans are right now. But in a year from now, if the fans turn on Triple H, you'll see him do the same fucking thing, and you'll see him slowly saying, oh, well, Triple H is fucking up. Triple H is fucking up. Triple H is fucking up. You'll see him make that turn more and more as this continues to go on down the road. Things are going to have to change creatively in WWE. Because if they don't, Triple H is going to become the enemy.
You mean he'll actually abandon his scapegoat Vince McMahon in WWE creative? What? What? This fucking idiot was actually blaming Vince McMahon for the Royal Rumble. And he's like, he's gotta be a fucking shadow ruler behind the curtain doing this shit. I'm like, dude, he has nothing to do with it. He doesn't care about wrestling. I wish everybody, like even the smart podcasters realize, Vince, check the fuck out. He just wants to get this Janelle Grant shit done with so he can just make some shitty movies for Tubi. That's all he fucking cares about right now, dude.
He just wants to make shitty movies for Tubi and poop on secretaries. Like, that's his life now. He doesn't want to fucking book WWE and deal with the marks backstage. Come on.
Dude, let pervert Mr. House do what he wants, man.
Yeah.
He's earned it. He's fucking earned it. He's beat the feds 3 fucking times now. Give him what he wants.
Give him what he wants. Vince has earned the right to get what he wants. Damn it, Val, give me what I want. He's earned the right.
Amen. So, Titan was saying if AEW was actual competition to WWE main roster, I would guarantee they would put more effort with their show. Triple H really needs to be humbled. And that's the thing, too, is that he has no real competition, so he can mail it in every week. I mean, he could practically go on, like, ChatGPT and have it book a whole fucking card for him if he wants to. He doesn't even have to put in the effort. He really doesn't even have to be in the arena. He just does it for fucking vanity, just so he can have the wrestlers kiss his ass backstage. He doesn't even really need to fucking be there. He would have to really try, and I don't think he's capable of that. I mean, we even saw what happened with AEW. Head-to-head for 72 weeks. What happens? He gets his ass beat by a booker with no fucking experience. A guy who had been at least on the writing team since the early 2000s, working with Stephanie McMahon. Has been part of creative in the weeds for a little bit now. Cannot beat a guy with under 5 years of booking experience. And I don't want anybody to ever forget that. I don't want Triple H to forget that. I know he doesn't forget that. I know he wants AEW to go under, and he's dedicating every resource he can to get AEW under before he gets unseated. It's almost like a goal of his, I think, to get AEW unseated and out of the picture so he can just buy up everybody he wants if he does get unseated. I'm sure he wants MJF. I'm sure he wants pretty much every cruiserweight jobber they have over there. Will Ospreay for sure. Kenny Omega. Oh yeah. Okada. He would kill to have those guys over in WWE.
Oh no, he would, no doubt about it. And so yeah, I think that, like what Titan here said, if AEW was better, if they were more competitive, if there were actual competition, Triple H would have to try. But the thing about Triple H is I don't know, like, if he had, like, real tough competition, I don't know if he could win. Because the last time he did, he got his fucking ass kicked with NXT Black and Gold. He got his shit pushed in. Every fucking... He only won 9 times, but that was because he brought main roster talents onto his show to help him pop the rating. Back during, like, the 2019, 2020, 2021. Like, they had to change everything about NXT because it literally fucking failed against AEW. Vince changed everything about it. So, like, let's not forget that, Triple H is not good when his back is against the wall. Right now, it's like AEW, they're shooting themselves in the head right now, so they can't be competition. If there was actual competition, I promise you, WWE would not have sold-out crowds everywhere they fucking go. It's not like they have that to begin with anyway. In fact, their attendances are dropping. That's not even being talked about. But, they wouldn't be having these record-breaking gates and these record-breaking sellouts everywhere because there'd be actual competition.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I'm willing to bet that Triple H probably tried this out on ChatGPT, saw that it booked a better show than him, and then punched the computer screen out of anger. I can see with ChatGPT, trust me, I've actually seen some of the shows that people have booked through ChatGPT. Amazing. Especially based off, like, the kind of mid-roster that we have right now. That they can make even that roster work within the confines of an AI. Yet this big-nosed, overpraised dumb shit can't make it fucking work. Replace him with the fucking robot at this point.
I know, like, I bet he was doing the ChatGPT. He's like, hey, ChatGPT, book an episode of Raw. And it's like, he's just looking at it, he's just getting more and more pissed. He's like,
where's Johnny in the world title scene?
He's like, oh, you think you're better than me, huh? Because you're a fucking computer, you're a fucking AI program, fuck you.
Punches the computer screen, hurts his hand. You can just see it. Yeah, so Triple H, complete dumb fuck, complete idiot, will probably get WWE Raw kicked off of Netflix and right back at USA because it's the only fucking place they can go. So, thanks, Triple H.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we got some news to go to. NC?
JC and.
Peace out.